Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the Pigment Craft Company Release Blog Hop, and is owned and operated by my very talented crafty friend Ivana up in Canada, and I'm excited to be a part of this release. I personally think her designs are up there, top notch, fantastic. And listen, I wouldn't say it, I'm not getting paid to do this. She did ask me to join, but just as a friend, okay? But I gotta tell you, her designs are fresh, they're modern, she's talented, she's got an eye for it. You know what I mean? You know when somebody's got an eye for it? Like, she's got an eye for it. Okay, look at this one. And everything kind of has an autumn theme. Of course, we're getting into the autumn, you know, the fall. There's some gorgeous cover plates. Look at this one here for the sweater weather. And there's coordinating dies to go with it. I love that, the sweater theme. I'm not going to remember the names of all these, but look at this beautiful sentiment set. I love the loose feel. I love that there's coordinating dies to go with it. I believe this is called Latte Heart, if you like a latte. And then look at the little stamp that goes with it. I believe there's like a full background stamp that coordinates with that too. You could fill in all the hearts with different colors. And this is a set I'm going to be featuring. It's called Frame Builder Autumn. There's a coordinating die and a coordinating stencil. Now this is one of those multi-step stamp sets. So there's, and it's all labeled step 1, step 2, step 3. But look at the packaging. So fresh, proudly Canadian. I really appreciate, you know, I'm married to a Canadian, so I do appreciate that an awesome craft company coming out of Canada. It's just, I like it. Okay, so we're going to start with this step 1, and it's just like a cluster frame of leaves. And I'm going to stamp this first one. I believe I used Grapefruit. And it's Concord 9th ink. I'm going to stamp each little cluster kind of in a different color. You could certainly stamp them all in the same color. This whole set kind of allows you to be as intricate and detailed or as simple as you want to make it. You can just add very little bit, a little bit, or a lot, depending on how detailed you want your frame to get. I kind of did a medium. I didn't do all the bells and whistles, but I just stopped when I felt like stopping. Okay, so now that was step 1. Step 2, you're not going to find it on the stamp set. It's actually in the stencil. So step 2 is when you start to add the gourds. Okay, so see that little arch? I figured this out after a while. This is kind of maybe my like take 3 of testing out these products. It took me a while to figure out where everything should go. And I want to say I'm using very untraditional colors. So I'm making a pink gourd. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to go with whatever tickles your fancy. I'm still in August and I'm feeling a pink gourd. I don't know, what can I say? I did pull out my, you know, my ink stand. I gotta say, I've become spoiled. If I don't have the ink stand, my ink's sliding all around and I get annoyed. It chaps my khakis. So once you start using the ink stand, then you become like dependent on it. It's just one of those things, but it holds it steady. I'm using one of the little mini Simon Says Stamp ink blender brushes with ballet slipper. And then the other side of the stencil is the other half of the gourd. So you just kind of have to eyeball it and line it up. It all snaps into place like a puzzle. Now for this part, I'm using Stardust ink, which is by far my favorite color of all the Concord 9th colors. I love this Stardust. It's kind of a chartreusey green, which is the best fall color, and it pairs beautifully with any color that you use. I'm telling you, slap a little Stardust in there and you got yourself something looking like $1,000,000. So there you got a little Stardust and ballet slipper gourd. Now step 4 is the gourd stems. Okay, and again, you kind of eyeball it until the stems snap into place. I'm using wheat ink for that, which is just kind of a light brown. And then now this one I pulled out a Gina K blender brush. I have all these brushes, different brands, but I kind of look and find one that had brown on it. You know how it goes. You just try to grab one with the same color. And there you've got your gourd stems. Now here's berries. Now I don't think you necessarily have to add the berries. You don't have to. But if you wanna, you know, go hard or go home. I did a little berry action with the sorbet. It's a little more intense, kind of an orangey, kind of a corally sorbet color. Again, I'm not sure if there's actually berries in this color, but hey, you just go with the gut. And then the other half of the stencil is a little berry detail. Don't have to add the detail. I almost didn't. Sometimes I like things to stay really simple. Sometimes I like to go the extra mile. So there's the berry detail. Okay, now see, let's see what's next. You could stop right here. I decided to go ahead and take the coordinating die and die cut this whole little frame out so that I could find out where the rest of my things needed to be lined up. I found it was easier to die cut first and then stamp those final little leaves that kind of, you don't really know where they go until you die cut it. Just my personal opinion. So I'm going to make these last 3 leaves out of this Misty Coast gray color. I just wanted something neutral. I didn't want any more color competition, for lack of a better term. Okay, so I stamped 3 Misty Coast leaves. I feel like I should give an update on Hank the Tank. Our dog, he just turned 3 months, and everybody always wants to see a picture of Hank the Tank. So here you go. Now this is Emma, and she's the one who got Hank the Tank on her birthday, and here's me. He's my favorite. I never knew I could love a dog that much. I've never had a dog before, but let me tell you, he gets more love than I think he wants, but he takes it. He has such a beautiful temperament. He just, except for every once in a while, he'll get a Barbie in his mouth, and then he will growl like the Dickens when you try to get the Barbie out. But, okay, so by the way, there's all these extra little details in the stamp set that you can add, which I didn't. Like I said, you can make it as detailed or as simple as you want to go. Now, I did lay down that frame, that same initial frame stamp, and I'm just stamping a couple of the largest leaves right there, just that one, and then I stamped it again with Stardust. There is a coordinating die that cuts out just that large leaf, like so. So I just added a couple. I wasn't sure if I'd want them, but in the end, I just kind of snuck them in, just in case, you know. Now for the sentiment, I'm using this really fun, it's called Split Sentiments Autumn. And I'm stamping that in that Oceanside kind of teal color using the coordinating die. I take it off camera, run it through my die cutting machine, and look, I love that fresh look of that sentiment. Now this is some, what is this, fog card base. And then I kind of trim that one leaf to kind of tuck it in. And then I will pop up, I'm popping everything up. Because dimension is life. And I'm popping up the sentiment, Hello Autumn. And then I did add a few of these little moonstones by Little Things from Lucy here and there. And this card is finished. I'm not sure if it screams autumn with the color scheme, but I really love the color scheme on that fog card base. I think this stamp set and the whole release is so fresh. Make sure and check out the rest of the release blog hop for the Pigment Craft Company. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.